You're saying to yourself, Eric, I got a new job. I'm in there like swimwear. How do I excel in the first 90 days? Well, I'm going to tell you. One of the ways I excel in the first 90 days of a job that I want to be at, like I am now, is 5 ways. One, you got to care. You got to care. If you don't care, you won't excel in your 90 days and past 90 days. If you don't care, you won't excel. Point blank. When I worked at the egg roll factory, when I worked at the CPG agency, I didn't care. So they were like, oh yeah, your first 30, 60, 90 days roll out. I didn't care. I wasn't trying to be there that long. And don't lie, and don't get me wrong, sometimes those 2 jobs extended out to me being there 7 months, 8 months, but I didn't care. I didn't care because as soon as I got there, all it took me for me a week to see the writings on the wall of the type of stuff that wasn't there. When a company doesn't have it together, it doesn't take long for you to see around how others are treated or to hear how other people are feeling about situations, or you start asking questions and no one has answers to the type of questions that you need, but then they expect you to know the answers, or they expect later on to tell you, oh, it's going to be okay as you get on. No, it won't be okay. It's going to get worse if they don't have the answers now. So, number one, how do you excel in a job in the first 90 days? Number one, you got to care. Once you care, everything will come into play, because once you care, that means you're willing to listen to people. You're willing to read. You're training. You'll take it more seriously. When you talk to your manager, your coworkers, or your peers, you'll listen. You'll be able to open more ideas. You'll think about things outside the job, and it'll help you be able to encompass everything that the job takes in, or things that they didn't tell you about the job, and you'll be able to come up with ideas because you care. Number two, how do you kick butt in the first 90 days? Have a list of all the things that you want to do. I always know in me, one of the positions that I want to be at, or I want to excel, like the position I'm in now, I want to excel. I have a list of all the things I want to do. I know in the first 90 days, I wanted to get to know my team, work with people. I wanted to understand what I needed to do better. I wanted to know what my goals were, and I wanted to know how I can motivate my team to make sure that we're hitting our goals by getting to know everyone individually by talking to them. And that's what I did. Start talking to other people, getting to know them, having conversations with them, and then slowly as time progresses, we start having one-on-ones. And what that did was it allowed me to get to know them, understand what works better when it comes to teaching, explaining, and learning. And then from there, we're off to the races. So number two, have a list of what you want to do in the first 90 days. Whether it be, raise sales, hire new people, learn a procedure, implement something. Just have a list of all the things that you want to do. It will help you towards your goal of kicking butt in the first 90 days. Number three, very vital, very, very vital. Number three, number three thing you need to do to be able to rock out in the first 90 days, make sure you have one-on-ones with your supervisor, the person you report to, because what it does is having those one-on-ones with your supervisor will allow you to be able to talk to them and ask them what they feel that your position needs to be doing, what they feel you need to be doing, what your goals need to be doing. And then you can also ask them what the priorities are going in for this quarter, this semester. Not this semester, these months, or going into the whatever new year or whatever it may be. You can ask them what the goals are, so you can make sure that you're aligned with the goals of the company. You're aligned with the goals that they want, so that you make sure you're attacking them, being successful, and that your team that you may report to, or the team that you work with or collab with or co-work, they make sure that they're on them, or just in general for you to make sure that you're aligned with what the goals are, so you can crush them, so that you can get a great review, great bonus, or whatever, But you got to know what the goals are. So that's number three, aligning and understanding what the goals are by having a one-on-one with your supervisor. Number four, the fourth way that you could be able to crush it, kick butt, smash it, slap it up the head like it owes you money, or how you can be successful in the first 90 days has to be, and this is going to be one that you're going to be like, Eric, I can't believe you asked that. It is, but it's definitely needed. Positive attitude. You got to have a positive attitude. Let me explain. Because number one is caring. Number two is having a list. Number three is aligning with goals. Number four is having a positive attitude. Let me explain. Because in the first 90 days, a lot is going to be thrown at you. Some things may still seem like the honeymoon phase, but after 30 days, the honeymoon phase is gone. Now, at 60 days, you're starting to see how things are. Things might not be together. 90 days, you're starting to wonder if this is where you need to be. You're starting to understand some coworkers are the way they are and they haven't changed, or they feel like they can do whatever. And you want to be there and you want to rock out in the first 90 days. You got to have a positive attitude, because a positive attitude is going to be able to allow you to see and be able to turn it into sugar. It's going to allow you to be able to see drama and be able to turn it into something friendly that puts a smile on your face. The positive attitude is going to allow you to be able to deal with a coworker that's crazy and be able to understand that that's part of the job and they just need more training. The positive attitude is going to be able to allow you to understand that somebody that reports to you that doesn't have it all or doesn't know this, or somebody who's been here longer than you that's not doing this, the reason they're not doing this is because they haven't been guided right, and you're the person that be able to guide it. Because a positive attitude will allow you to be able to see the negative and then be able to see the positive out of that negative and turn that negative into a positive. Because if you don't have a positive attitude, everything negative that happens, you will look at it and be like, this is where I gotta go. 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 There's no reason why this should be happening. There's no reason. That's how you're gonna look at things, because you don't come from a positive mindset. You're coming from a negative mindset. So negative matching negative equals more negative. Negative plus positive equal a positive, because you see that negative situation with that coworker, that's your coworker being late always and not doing their end. You're gonna look at it as like, they're not doing their part. Me taking on their part is going to allow me to know more about the business. It's going to allow me to be able to know their position. So if I want to move department, yes. Or if it was negative, me negative, them not doing that part, gosh dang, man, that's what I'm talking about. No one ever want to do their job. That's why I don't even want to be here, working with people that don't even care. You're not looking at it as like, if I go and do their end, I'm learning to prepare myself for future job placement, future job growth. You're not thinking like that. You're thinking of, I'm tired of people not doing their part. I'm tired of being here. I'm tired of always doing my half and other people's half. But when you have a positive attitude, you look at the negative and turn it into a positive. And number 5, last but not least, to be able to rock out in the first 90 days at your job, to be able to crush it at your job first 90 days, to be able to smack it around like it owed you money. What do you need to do at number 5 to make sure that you're rocking out at your job? And that would have to be taking time out to talk to everybody. Taking time out to talk to your peers, other people you work with. Because what this does now is, now you start getting the vibe for how the company is. And the things that you may have thought, now you can get a better understanding. And now you've solidified yourself at who you are by talking to other people and making people know who you are and how you roll and getting to know. You already going to go around and talk to everybody. So why not already schedule time with people so that you can be on the same page with them? So especially if you have to collaborate with Jenny, you can understand to be on the same page with Jenny on how she works, how she operates, how she has things. And then that way you're already good by having a one-on-one time with her. Because you don't want to not talk to Jenny, and then all of a sudden you get thrown with a project with Jenny, and you don't know if Jenny's the type of person that does work on time, does work late, or whatever. But when you have one-on-ones with people that you collab with, report with, or that you work hand-in-hand with on a regular, you need to have one-on-one time with them so you can get a vibe for them, get a little talking with them, and not just, work with them and don't know who they are. Because people are more tuned and more susceptible to work with you, be understanding, or be able to be reliable and do their job when they have a relationship with you. So number 5 has to be getting to know the people around you. You don't have to be their BFFs, but knowing something about them and having a conversation with them outside of you just reporting a project or doing XYZ when something's due. Because if you know them, you talk to them, you can kind of start seeing how their persona is, start seeing how they are, so that when something is due or turned in, or you got to file a meeting with them, you can know how they are. And it won't be new to you. It won't be strange. You can easily pick up the phone and call them. You can talk. You know what I'm saying? You got your own personal relationship. Instead of having to go through somebody else talking to them and them feeling like they don't know you. And then it makes it easier for y'all to get the job done. So that is number 5. That is number 5. I know a lot of y'all are, oh, man, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. And bonus tip. Another way to kick it. Smack your job around. Slap it like it owes you money, so that in the first 90 days you are rocking out being a superstar. This is a bonus tip, and I needed to say it, but I didn't. But it needs to be said. Come to work on time. Come to work on time. Come to work on time. Come to work on time, and don't call off. If you're able to, I understand sometimes life happens. People may have passed away, but if you can avoid in the first 90 days, come to work on time and don't call off. Because the first 90 days, if you're already calling off in the first 30, the first 60, or you're not coming to work on time, they're going to be like, yeah, this is going to be a regular thing. But if you're like me, I think after the first 30 days, I stopped coming to work on time. And then after 60, after I got past the 60 part, I just stopped caring. Because at that point, I started seeing what was really going on and stopped coming to work on time. But if it's at a job you really care about, you want to be there, come to work on time. If it's not a job you don't care about, then you know what it is. But be expectant for what happens. That's just how it is. When I worked at the CPG agency, after 60 days, I stopped coming to work on time. Just didn't really care. I passed the 60-day mark. I'm good. I'm here. It is what it is. I started seeing how people really are. I started seeing how people wanted to be, passive aggressive towards me on certain things. But then when I call them out, they act like they don't know. So, okay, so you act like that? Cool. I'm going to do what I do. But if you're like how I am now, the company I am now where I care, then I'm always on time. I'm always on time for everything because I know I could be on time. I just didn't care then because I didn't feel like I was getting the support. But now that I am getting the support, I definitely care. I always want to be there. So remember, those are the 5 plus bonus things. Let me run it back for you. Let me run it back. So the 5 things that you need to be successful in your first 90 days. Number 1, you got to care. Number 2, you got to have a list of things that you want to accomplish in the first 90 days. It helps. It gives you guidance, gives you alignment, you know what to do, all that good stuff. Number 3, you got to have a one-on-one with your supervisor, boss, or whoever you report to. Because what you do is when you're having that one-on-one with them, you're making sure that you're getting aligned with the company goals and what their goals are, so that you're making sure that you're crushing the goals that are given to you, or what the goals are, so that the people that report to you, they know what the goals are, so you're making sure that they crush it so that you all look good. And number 4, you got to have a positive attitude. Positive attitude on everything you do, because a positive attitude will allow you to look at something negative and turn it positive. Something negative plus negative will equal negative. But if you have a positive attitude, look at something negative and know that, hey, I can make this positive, or hey, this negative situation is a good learning experience for me. And number five, you need to get out and meet all the people that you're going to work with, and have one-on-one conversations with people that you work collaboratively with. You know what I'm saying? You need to go out there and meet them one-on-one. If someone reports to you, you need to meet them one-on-one. If you report to someone, you need to meet them one-on-one. Because having a one-on-one conversation with all the people that you're going to work with on different departments or in the department having a one-on-one with all the people that you got to meet with that are in different departments or in your department is going to allow you to be able to have a relationship with them, so that they know you outside of just emails. They have conversations with you. They know how you are. You know how they work schedule is. Their ability to work. You know how they are as a person when it comes to completing work, doing work, and saying what they're going to say they're going to do, and understanding if they're either someone that's about business or someone that's just procrastinating about that BS. So yeah, you definitely want to have conversations with people that you work with, that you report to, that report to you, or people that you collab with in your department or outside other departments. You definitely want to do that. And the bonus tip is come to work on time, first 90 days, and make sure you avoid calling off, especially if it's a job. Those 2 things apply, especially if it's a job you want to be at. Because call off first 90 days don't look good. Coming to work the first 90 days, 60 days don't look good. So you want to make sure you do all 5 of those things plus the 1 bonus. And I guarantee you'll be successful in your first 90 days at your new job. So good luck, knock them dead, and remember those 5 bonus plus 1 tips. And remember, keep living your life, because if you don't, your life is not going to live you.